Being alone and being lonely, two different things. See, I like to call it negative human dependency, when somebody's overly dependent on human relationships to their detriment, meaning they're so incapable of functioning without being around people all the time that it's actually hindering them instead of becoming a positive. When I look throughout the Bible, one principle that was consistent with all the men that God walked with is that they had a life of solitude. Now, the Bible will call it consecration. The term doesn't matter so much. The principle is what matters. The idea that these men were able to successfully fulfill their assignment because of a certain solitude that they had. I can't think of, you can't think of, nobody can think of one great man who didn't have a life of solitude. Now, you saw the championships, you saw the scoring titles, you saw the game winners, but you didn't see hours and hours and hours of working on his craft alone. This isn't about basketball. You also didn't see the 9,999 times Thomas Edison failed at refining the light bulb that you and I now have as convenience. Just like I wasn't there to see Jesus Christ hanging on that cross for me, or the 18 lost years between the ages of 12 to 30 that he spent alone growing so that he can step into his role as my savior. You didn't see Albert Einstein walking in parks for hours and hours on end trying to think of the future, or Nikola Tesla, the man who was the reason why we even have the technology we have today. You can thank him for the phone that you use, the light that's on. You can thank him for the electric cars that are available. You can thank him for wireless technology. You can thank him for about 85% of modern day technology. One man, Nikola Tesla, but he lived his life in solitude. In fact, he was quoted as saying, be alone, for that is the secret of invention. It's those times when you're alone that wisdom comes. It's those times in solitude is when you contact creativity, innovation, when your abilities, your gifts are able to find so much expression. It's like encoded in man, that seclusion. Your best work is done in solitude. Most creativity comes in solitude. When you go to a restaurant, there's a reason why the chef and the customer are never in the same location. Why? Because the chef is separated from the one he's serving food to, so that he has the ample space and time to prepare what he's serving to the customer. That's the principle. The idea is that you have to separate yourself from your generation so that you have the ample time and space to create for them what God has put in you to create for them. That's why solitude. And that kind of production, being able to manifest everything that God has put in you, requires solitude. Just like the chef needs to be alone in the back so they can craft together that meal with every ounce of their being, with love, with everything they are, with every skill and craft that they can to put together a meal that customer can appreciate. But what if the chef was out laughing and giggling with the customer? They can't create. They can't create. So they have to be separate. People go to sports games. You like to see them do what they do, but you didn't see the hours they spent alone preparing for the basketball game. Masterful preparation requires solitude. That's why I called it negative human dependence. It's a kind of dependence that's robbing you from being able to create your best. All you'll ever do in life, if you're always amongst everyone, you're never going to create something for them. You can't be with them and also create for them at the same time. Just like you can't be with somebody and also cook for them at the same time, right? You have to be in the kitchen while they're in the living room so you can prepare for them. I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's a sacrifice that all great men made. I don't know one. You don't know one. Like I said before, we don't know anybody. You can't name anybody that created something meaningful and powerful and impactful in this life that did not have a life of solitude. You can't name it because it's not possible otherwise. They had to pay the price to separate themselves from their generation, to create for their generation. Yes, the people may despise them, laugh at them, joke, oh, what are you doing? You're wasting your life. Come have fun, all these things. But they don't care. They know that what's in their mind, they're creating what's going to be their necessity in the future. That's like your mom's going to cook for you in the kitchen. You're laughing and say, oh, Mom, what are you cooking for? Let's have fun. Let's play this, play that. No, she's going to go cook because she knows give it 3 hours, you'll be hungry. And when you're hungry, she'll have that food prepared for you. But if she were to come and mix and mingle with you, she's not going to have what you need. It's a sacrifice that great people make. They're not living for themselves. They're not living for consumption. They're living to produce what God has put in them. So they're not concerned with being around you. They'll separate themselves for you. They know there's something in them the world needs, and they'll pay the price to consecrate themselves with God to allow it to find expression. This is the power of solitude.